Hello and welcome back to the TDP. Here we are, Friday, January 26th, 2024. This month has started out, this year has started out with a bang. I'm telling you, I've been busy and busy and busy. There's all kinds of work, and especially where I'm at. I'm a recruiter. So, and there is lots of good candidates out there. So I've been working through the process for several new opportunities and helping people that have a need for a job in aerospace engineering. So that's what I've been doing. But I wanted to talk right quick today about something that's been going on in my personal and family life. And kind of ask for help. First, I'll just mention that we lost my little cousin. His name's Jerry Foley. We all call him Little Jerry because his name's Jerry. And anybody that knew Jerry, we used to call him Geek, and he was just the most cool guy. He was like, I'm not afraid to say it. He's one of my favorites, especially when I was little. I loved him so much to go over to Uncle Jerry's house, and I still love him. Unfortunately, he's gone. He passed on about maybe 10 years ago, maybe 12. But anyways, maybe it was about 10, I guess. Anyways, his son, little Jerry, has passed away, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But first, I want to ask that you please, if you look at my Facebook profile, you will see that I posted a request for help for his final expenses. There is a GoFundMe link, and our family is grieving, and we're trying to get through it, and right now we're just trying to pay for those final expenses. If you guys could please go on the link and donate $5, anything you can afford, $5-10, anything you can afford will be amazing, and I would really appreciate it, and my family would, from the bottom of all of our hearts. So yeah, I'll mention it again. It's on my Facebook page. It's a GoFundMe link to help with little Jerry Foley's final expenses. So yeah, about maybe 2 weeks ago, Jerry went missing, little Jerry, and this week they found him. Obviously, unfortunately, they found him deceased. So listen, there's a huge problem in my hometown, in the whole central Appalachian region. There's a huge problem, and it's been going on since 1995, since the pharmaceutical companies ravaged our communities with their poison. We've had a permanent problem that doesn't seem to be going away because at first they denied it. They just kept pumping it in. They kept pushing it on to our citizens, pushing these poisonous drugs that are FDA approved, just pushing them on everybody that has a sore thumb or a sore knee. Why not give them oxycodone? Why not? As long as they're as long as they're prescribing, they make money, and the government just lets it happen. When we tried to investigate, when we got people on it, they just pushed them away. Watch Dope Sick. Watch what's the other one? There's another one that just came out too, that just basically articulates exactly what happened, and it's just like, oh. Yeah, who cares? They're just a bunch of whatevers, hillbillies in central Appalachia. Nobody cares. So this is what it ends up. This is where it goes for our communities. Just a line of poverty and death. I think it's time that we recognize it and say it and do something about it. But it's hard. It's harder for the people who actually got caught, who are addicted. Like it's like a disease. It's like a disease that you're hooked on on meds that when you try to get off of them, you get sicker than ever until you get some kind of artificial form of what you did to relieve the symptoms, and then you get hooked on that, and then there's a whole black market for that. So what's the problem here? Here's the problem is, I don't know what the problem is, honestly. The government thinks that, oh, okay, well, we finally got, we're holding these pharmaceutical companies accountable. Well, what about the people that's already been disintegrated, that's been, basically their families have been obliterated and their communities have been demoralized? Okay, now they're going to turn to something else. We're going to allow thousands and thousands and thousands of people through the border, and half of them are going to have fentanyl. And now we've got 100,000 dead Americans. So guess what? Now it's a problem because it's not in Central Appalachia only; it's in the rest of the world. So now everybody wants to recognize the problem. So 100,000 people dead. This is worse than the wars that we've been in. If we went to war and over the course of a year, 100,000 Americans were dead, there would be people calling for the end of it from here to Timbuktu, end the war, and blah, blah, blah. But nobody's saying nothing about people that got caught up in this stupid trap of addiction, and now they're dying. They've been dying since 1995. And nobody cares. Nobody pays attention. Nobody looks at it. Nobody does anything. And I admit it is a hard conversation. And I'm not saying that's how we lost little Jerry. I don't know. I just know that he was in a community that is extremely limited on opportunities and extremely limited on options. The way I handled it was leave. And that's a terrible thing when you have to tell someone to leave their home community in order for an opportunity to have the American dream, not even American, a decent life. And people wonder what I talk about when I say that we're losing our American dream. Well, there's several parts of that, like maybe the fact that inflation's so out of control that young people can't even buy homes anymore because the interest rates are out the roof. It's already bad enough to pay like a 2 or 3% interest rate and have to pay for 30 years. Well, now it's a 10% interest rate for 30 years. You would never own that house. Anyways, I got off on that. I don't know it's a hard conversation. And I really care about my community. I care about Central Appalachia. And I want to see that place ascend. It's so beautiful. The people are so beautiful. The landscapes are the most beautiful landscapes in the world. And, and it's gone to crap. There's no opportunities, and the people there are suffering. It's a hard situation, and I wish I had the answers. I know I can take it to an individual level. That's about as far as I can, because people, when it comes to the choices we make, they determine the trajectory of our lives. Every choice. I can go back to probably 5 choices that I made in my life that put me where I'm at today. And I think that could be said about almost everybody. I'm so sorry for your loss, Aunt Deb, and for my little cousin Donna. I'm so sorry for your loss. Look, guys, I've lost lots of people because of this, because of the denigration of my community. And it's not just Harlan. I lived in other communities in the area too, southwestern Virginia, Lee County. It was ravaged. And I know I have lots of friends in Lee County and lots of friends in Harlan who have been successful, and hopefully they understand what I'm saying, you know. But I'm telling you, my family's been hit worse. I mean, it seems like it's been hit harder, and it's been more cruel than anywhere else. I don't know. It's a cruel reality, you know, when you have zero opportunities. Your only options are, you know, extreme measures. So you know, here's the thing: when it's so far and deep and wide, the problems, that it's hard to touch on one thing without leaking out to some other terrible things that's been happening in our, you know, in our community. So I don't know. I'm so sorry, Aunt Deb. I'm so sorry, Donna, for your loss. Please, guys, if you can, look at my Facebook account. Find the post that I made about the GoFundMe, and try to help little Jerry, his family, with his final expenses. Nothing but love. That's all I got today. Deuces.